let's take a live look at Chicago and New York City. The first snowflakes of the season hit the ground today across New York and New Jersey. And while the Midwest is getting hit with some lake effect snow as well, Paul, this is my favorite time of year. And I can say
to
that
watch from a distance.
I know.
It's
easy for me to say. I know it's easy for me to say, but it's starting to change. Winter is coming.
Winter has made a rude early arrival for much of the eastern half of the country. People trying to enjoy autumn, just ramping up to Thanksgiving, and all of a sudden it feels like winter, and that's something you have to adjust to. Let's take a look at the radar replay over the last few hours. And we're still tracking these bands of snow, but the lake effect snow machine, while it's still going to be cranked up over the next 24 hours, we are going to see the snow gradually diminishing in intensity, adding up several more inches of snow in those bands downwind of the Great Lakes. It's all a result of this very cold air mass. Numerous record low temperatures, 80 at last count, set this morning through the eastern half of the country. High temperatures a good 15 to 20 degrees below normal, but it's that cold air interacting with the open water of the Great Lakes that results in that lake effect snow. So let's talk about what's going on. The open water of the Great Lakes is not what you would call warm. 45 degrees is not going to have anybody rushing to the beach, but it's a good 20 degrees warmer than the temperatures over land, and warmer air can hold more moisture. And there's that source of moisture, the open water of the Great Lakes. So as the air blows out over the Great Lakes, it warms up a little bit, absorbs some of that moisture via evaporation, and then as it blows back out over land, it cools off again and has to drop that moisture, and it does in these bands of very intense snowfall. And this is the prime time of year. This is a prime setup for it when you get a very cold air mass and relatively warm lake water. And it has been a chilly day overall, but things are going to improve for the eastern half of the country. It's still going to be cold in the northeastern U.S. tomorrow, only in the 40s to near 50 degrees for Boston and New York, but temperatures return to closer to normal, and we're going to continue that trend as we head through the rest of the week. Temperatures even warming up to a greater extent through the middle of the country. Had an elevated fire threat through much of Texas today because of a combination of warm and gusty conditions. Those red flag warnings just expired. Now, if you have a clear enough view tonight and you're far enough north, you may be able to catch a glimpse of the aurora. Strong solar storm is actually going to peak tomorrow, but during daylight hours. So viewing conditions for the continental United States probably going to be at their best tonight. You have to be pretty far to the north, above 45 degrees in latitude, and you have to have clear skies overhead. But that strong geomagnetic storm could result in some disruption to some of the communications satellites, and we have to watch for some potential issues with that. It's G4, a geomagnetic storm watch, has been issued by the Space Weather Center.
Have you ever seen it in person, though?
I have. I grew up in Minnesota, so we got a chance to see it a fair time or two. Yeah.
So lucky.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty magical. Thanks, Paul.